a little bit of NXT. Now, I'm not going to make this very long because, as you guys know, my ankle's still messed up. But I want to say this. This show wasn't bad. It's got good wrestling on it and some story progression. But it's interesting. Because again, the women are the ones who close the show. Now, I wanted to check to see how the ratings have been for NXT on the CW. And it took me a little bit of time to check and see that. That's one of the reasons why it's a little bit late. If it's going to be late. Because by the time this is uploaded, I think it'll be a little more than past 1 o'clock. But I had a chance to look at this. And the ratings from last week were, 591? And this is 692. So they did go up by 101,000, which is mostly within variance. It's not like they go beyond 7 or 800,000. They're always pretty consistent between 550 to 680. It jumps up and down. So there's somewhere in between variance. But the numbers are not going down, but they're not going up either. So it's like it's consistent. But if I'm right, not everyone's going to like that. Now, I'm not saying I have a problem with women closing the show. Or this is more of a woman's orientated shows we've been getting. Because it is good to see the women getting more time on TV and also seeing they're getting more segments. And to a certain extent they are. But, and this is the thing that I say for myself, where is the balance? Because there's going to have to be a balance sooner or later. If you continually have the women being the focus for the next several months, 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, and the men are put to the back burner, it's not going to be balanced. Because let's be honest here, there are women who watch wrestling, no problem. But the majority of them are, both sexes, are men. And you must give us a balance of at least mostly men and mostly women. And you do a balance where you have a little bit more men than women. That's not saying that women can't draw, because they can. But as a developmental, you must have a proper balance and see what the balance is showing you. If we're getting more likes for the women than the men, I can understand it. And demographics will show it. But if the numbers stay either very consistent or they drop, they need to do an adjustment. Now, this is like the second or third time that we had women close the show. I don't have too much of a problem with it. But if this continues and we see less and less men and less segments for the men, then I'm going to say this is off balance. It was bad enough when the women were not getting enough time and the men were getting too much. Now, if it's reversed, it's not going to be good either. I want it to be consistent where there's a good amount of time. The men get time to develop their own characters, own storylines, their own matches, and the women as well. There must be a balance, and I'm hoping they'll have it here. Let's open Vanity Project versus Legacy and Dukes. Now, I didn't expect them to win here. I just don't see them stripping the titles off of Vanity Project yet. Do I like Barn and Smokes? No. They're not bad wrestlers. I want to make it very clear, they're not bad wrestlers. They got some level of charisma, and they're not bad wrestlers at all. But do I care about them as a tag team without Vanity Project? No. Without Vanity Project, they're boring. I'm sorry, they just are. Lockwood and Drake helped to make the ensemble work. And look what happened. Lockwood had to help out. Drake had to help out to make sure they won. Now, it did protect to a certain extent Dukes and Legacy, and it is good to see they're still being a tag team. And that move that Legacy did, I know that it was it? I can't remember who was from the Lucha. I can't remember who it was that was part of LA. What? I can't remember. I just can't remember who was the one who was doing it when they had their big Lucha group. I can't remember the name of the Lucha group. But someone was doing that. Now Legacy has done it. Not bad, but I don't know. Next, Wilder versus Haku. No, Naraku. Let me give it to you like this. Do you actually think Wilder's gonna win? Not me. I knew he was gonna get his ass handed to him, and he did. Flat out get his ass handed to him. Of course, Naraku did play around with his food a little bit, at least until Tony D came out and started fighting with him. He sprayed one of the security guards in the face with red mist this time. No, wasn't red mist the last time? Orange or red mist? I think so. So we are getting the story between them, and we're getting next week the match. I'm kind of surprised they're not trying to save it for Heatwave, but they think it's necessary to do it next week. But the question is going to be, is this good? I just don't like seeing Naraku rushed like this. He already lost. He had his chance to get to the title. He's already lost. And now he's getting another title shot. The question is going to be, will this make any sense? I'm just saying. Next, the four-way for the North American Championship. Zarya versus Izzy Dane versus Rain and... It hurts me to see my girl. Look, there are a lot of gorgeous women on NXT. But I say this, I'm going to say it again. Lakita Lyons needs to leave WWE because they're doing nothing with her. She's a jobber. And I truly believe, yes, she's got a body guys want to just do something dirty with. She's got a body women want to do something with. She does have charisma. She can hold a character. And she can wrestle pretty well. She's not one of the greatest wrestlers, but she can wrestle. She's consistent. But they're doing nothing with her. She's holding a title that means absolutely nothing. And since the situation with Natty and Miss Parker is going on, she just feels like she's not really doing anything. Petrovic, she's not doing much. But you could say that since she has a fighting style, that Natty will do more with Petrovic than she will with Lakita Lyons. Because it feels like with Lakita, yes, she's got a title. She's not doing anything. She's doing absolutely nothing. The match itself was fine. The one who looked the best was Rain. I do like Rain. I understand. I love Lakita Lyons. Lizzie Rain, I just think, has a energy that you will just love about her. Yeah, she's a rocker. I'm not really big on rock. I like multiple different type of music, but her personality with her rock persona works. But I didn't expect her to win. I didn't expect Lakita Lyons to win, and I didn't expect Izzy Dane to even come close to sniffing that title and winning it. I knew she wasn't going to win it. Zarya has to retain. She's not ready to drop it yet. It makes no sense for her to drop it. But guess who's the one who had the job? It's not Izzy. It wasn't Lizzie. Those two started fighting one another by the time it was over. And once Natalya came out to see if she can help out a little bit of the Lakita Lyons, you see a Jada Parker come out whacking her in the face. You knew who was going to job. The Evolved Champion jobbed. It sucks. It just plain sucks seeing that girl the way she is. It hurts. And I want her to leave that company. I'd rather see her go to TNA, where, yes, she may not get much money, but at least she will be seen, she'll be cared about. At least she'll get something. Moving on. Let me give it to you like this. Did I care about Jasper Trey? You see I'm botching Jasper. Let me give it to you like this. Did I believe Tavion Heights was going to win against Jasper Drake? No. Did I believe that he was going to feel important? No. I feel like he's just going to go on a slide down, and I don't know what they're going to do with him. I just don't know. I didn't expect him to win, and he didn't win. Jasper Drake is part of Vanity Project, which is one of the hotter teams they have right now. A faction more than a team. And honestly, I just don't see him losing right now. Not like that. So in the end, he won his match. And legitimately, he won it clean. Well, technically, not clean because, of course, Tavion had to keep fighting off Vanity Project. But once they were gone out of the moment, because he did whack him a couple of times, he did get rolled up and there was no cheating. Drake did beat him. So what do you think is going to be with him? I don't know. He had his chance to turn heel, but then he turned right back into a face. Now he's talking with Miles Bourne about possibly getting the tag titles from Vanity Project, which might have been a little more easy to understand if he managed to win his match against Jasper Drake. Even though he's not one of the tag champs, he could have had another match where he had to go through the other two to try and build up into getting a title match. So, I don't know. Next, let's talk about Angel's segment and Shiloh Hill. I believe his name is Tristan. Tristan Angels. I believe I'm pronouncing his first name wrong. But him talking about he's the most important guy. And he wants to make sure he gets revenge on what he took the tooth of our boy, of Shiloh Hill, and broke it. And Shiloh said, you know what? Thank you. You now released me from that damn thing. I can always fix my tooth. But now you released me from talking about the mist, not the fog. Now you're going to be getting it. Now the fog's coming from you. But you know that used to be an old movie. Back in the 1950s and 60s, a fog where it would eat you alive, I believe. I don't know where they're going with this. But it's imaginative. But the question is how far they're going to go with this fog. Now, let's go for, I believe her name is Rihanna Vulcan. I know I'm mispronouncing the last name, but I'm going to call her Vulcan, not Vulcan. I'm calling her Vulcan. That's what I like. I am a Star Trek fan. She's using the name Vulcan. Forget that. I'm calling her that. Her bringing up that she's the first Dominican in the WWE, I wish they stopped doing this. Stop. Get some help. I'm doing that. I did it. Stop. Get some help. Why is it so important as the first of your people to show up in WWE? I'm sick of this. I want to see a female wrestler show that she's more than what she has been put as. Rihanna Vulcan is a wrestler. And we don't know who she is. If she's worked in CMLL, fine. If she's worked in AAA, fine. If she's worked anywhere else, fine. But is it that important to say that she's a Dominican? Is it that important that she can just say her Spanish heritage? I'd rather see her make that as an afterthought about her Spanish heritage and focus on what she can do as a wrestler, as a character. Can she talk? Does she look good in a ring? Does she look good physically? Those are things that people care more about than her damn ethnicity. It's stupid. I've gotten sick and tired of it. And as someone who's mixed himself, I want to see more than this. I care more about you being a great wrestler than a great Dominican. Come on. But did she sound, other than that part, menacing? Yeah. Did she look good in the vid pack as she was talking? She was hammering a tire, one of those big tires. Not bad, but it's been done before. But the question's going to be, when she shows up next week and actually wrestles, will she look good, or is she going to look a little botchy? Because remember, she put Tatum Paxley on her shoulder and she almost looked like she might have blown out her knee because she lost her balance and couldn't balance herself. Hopefully she'll look good. Now, let's make this clear. Shugs, him trying to get a team together before next week, he's gone throughout the mud. He went through Hank and Tank and EK. The only ones he can get is Romeo and Nolan Dar. Because Romeo said if we can pin former tag champs, we could get something. And Dar is trying to keep telling him, we're not ready. We're still not developed as a tag team yet. We don't need these high profile matches where we're not even sync as a tag team. And now they're working with Shooks. Is this going to work? No. I think what's going to happen, Shooks is not going to get his win. And more than not, you're going to see Romeo is going to be the one who's going to cause the match to go bad, and possibly Dar will be the one who's going to get pinned. Or Dar is going to get nailed really hard, and Shooks might be the one who gets pinned. It's going to be one or the other, but Romeo's going to be the one who's going to be the one to really put it in motion that it's going to go bad. That's what I think. Finally, number one contendership for the World Championship. Now, Layla Diggs got injured on a house show, I believe. So she can't wrestle. So we get Lola Vice. And we get Kiana Jordan. Now I'm going to be honest here. The person I thought that was going to get the win was going to be Kiani. I truly believe that they were going to let Kiani have this for Heatwave. Because I truly believe that it is time for her to actually have this moment. And the match wasn't bad. The match was alright. Did I care about Armstrong? No. I did not care about Armstrong. Because I don't believe Armstrong is ready. Armstrong is just as generic as, what was her name? I forgot her name. Tyra Steele. If you don't remember her, she was the Olympian who thought she was going to get somewhere and they just let her go. So when it comes to Armstrong, I'm not feeling anything from her. She's no different. Was she an alright wrestler? Yeah. But seeing that the only person that really made the most sense was Kiani, because it would have given us something more, because her story, she's been North American champ, she's been TNA champion, but she has not been the world champion. And I would have liked to see the build up into that. Unless they're going to do it later in the year, and they just don't want to do it here, or at Heatwave, I'm hoping maybe they'll do something that would be great. But I don't know. This is still a big question. In the end, it was Lola Vice who gets to win. And that girl sprawled her ass. I think I got a shot of it. She's laying on top of well, I'll show it to you. She's on top of Armstrong with that tongue sticking out. I think I got that shot. That might be the only shot I'm going to put in here. And she was so proud of herself that not only did she do the back fist, that she managed to kick Kiani dead in the head, and Kiani was just pissed as hell that she still could not get it done. I really thought Kiani would have been the better choice than Lola Vice again. But this is the choice they made. Was this a bad show? No. But do I believe it could have been more? Yeah. But if they're trying to give women more time, and they can balance out giving men more time along with the women, hopefully the ratings will continue to show something. At least they're staying consistent, at least for the last 2 weeks. But it's just me. Peace.